Kaseng Congress hakani ke jela Meghalaya kala Kynthoh teng ke Sorkar Meghalaya Democratic Alliance da ka baong ba ka jing Dkoh Treikam jongka kadai ka dau ba ka balakta ya ka jing kren halor ki kam khaput ba ka jela Assam nalor kani Kaseng Congress kala Kynthoh ru ya ka Sorkar MDA halor kani ka kelam COVID-19 da ka baong ba kani ka Sorkar kala pulam ha ka Rukom Treikam ka jongka bani khun yu ni khunyang jing pang ha ka jela Hak jingi kendu bagi nang patai kubor ke jela hak alai terik mentak ubnai nalar arhajar atwe unang yalam kaliang persya hak yendo bar thawan kini ke jela naga seng kongres udok tumukul sangma ula Kynthoh teng ke Sorkar Meghalaya Democratic Alliance halor ke jing Dkoh ke Rukom Treikam jongka hagi babun kiliang Kawai ni kimat kaba udok tumukul sangma ula Kynthoh kadai halor ke jing sateng ke jing keren ke Sorkar Meghalaya ba ke Sorkar Assam kadai tang namar ke jing kiliang yeki Deputy Commissioner bat yeki Superintendent of Police na kapor sakapor khamtam haki district ki badan haki khaput ki badan hapdeng ke jing kaja hapdeng kini ki atli ki jela Hakabai day bat kani ka kelam na ka kenyang jingpang COVID-19 kabalai yu lat ban pur hakeleng ke jela udok tumukul sang ma ulo keno ba kani ka Sorkar kam sim na sim kya ban yada na ka jing pur stat jong ni kenyang jingpang namar kum bakalong menta kam dan ru kamang pisa ka bakerpang segi district ba per ke jela bani khun yu ni kenyang jingpang udok tumukul sang ma ulo ongru ba kum bakalong menta ki primary health center bat ki community health center ki duna brio bha bani khun yu ni khunyang jingpang ha ki babun kiliang kabalong pat ka dau ba uni khunyang jingpang ula yu lat ban sapriang ha keleng ki district uni unong yalam kaliang persya ula kedawru halor ki ambulance ki bala pendan kam ha ka ba pinkit ikinang pang COVID-19 namar kini ki kali kim biang ye ki lat jing sumar halenti ni kita ki advanced life support ka ba penlong ikinang pang bandu ra ka jing im what siteng lengti suwa bakin poi sigi jaka sumar.
And based on this documentation, which reinforce our stand in as far as our claim and justification thereof pertaining to these areas of difference along the Assam-Meghalaya border is concerned, all the negotiation and discussion with our counterparts should follow. That should be the basis based on which the discussion should be on. In the recent press briefing, which was basically a joint press briefing by the two chief ministers of Assam and Meghalaya, we could hear the chief minister of Assam referring to that documentation which has been submitted by government of Meghalaya. And he was heard saying that based on those claims and justification, whatever was submitted by the state of Meghalaya, they also have their own interpretation and their stand. Therefore, obviously, they are indicating that they vary. Meaning, they would probably try to deviate from those justification, which forms the part of that exhaustive, huge compilation of interpretation of the records to substantiate and reinforce our claim. But the fact remains that this whole documentation is available with the state government, and that should form part of the basis based on which the bilateral discussion should follow. Because as political party and as members of that particular political party who were privileged to be elected by the people, we are duty bound to ensure that whatever negotiations, whatever bilateral discussions are held with our counterpart to resolve this contentious issue must revolve around the interests of our own people, and all the available possibilities of discussion must ensure that the interests of the people are taken care of, and the discussion that can be arrived at to resolve the issue must be based on what is acceptable to our people. In other words, in much more softer tone, without any discrimination, unlike the present government. But unfortunately, the present incumbent government is so bankrupt in understanding the problem of our people who are residing in the interstate border areas, particularly those people who are in the areas of difference, that they have not given due recognition and due attention to this initiative. They must have studied and did some due diligence to understand what was the background which ultimately culminated into embarkment or initiative of this particular developmental program, which revolved around developmental programs which can be taken up as per the needs of the people. I am very pained and disturbed because our people have been abandoned by this government.